Welcome into the Brooks Bench with your host, Brooke, aka Shiggy, and my co-host, Megan.
What's up?
We are here with the last preview before women's college basketball kicks off.
Ooh.
November 4th, baby. We're here with the Big 12 preview. But before we get into it, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't seen already, we have gone over the SEC, ACC, and Big Ten. All those videos are on our channel. I will put it at the top of the video too, all three of those videos. But okay, let's get into the last preview. All right, so the Big 12 Conference. They consist of Arizona, Arizona State, Baylor, BYU, Cincinnati, Colorado, Houston, Iowa State, Kansas, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, TCU, Texas Tech, UCF, Utah, and West Virginia. The new teams added to the Big 12 this year are Arizona, Arizona State, Utah, and Colorado.
Uh-huh.
They did do a preseason poll for the Big 12 and the finishes. So we have Kansas State at the top, Iowa State number 2, Baylor, TCU, West Virginia, Utah, Arizona, Kansas, Colorado, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, BYU, Cincinnati, UCF, Arizona State, and Houston. What do you think? What do you think about? I guess obviously the teams vote on this, but what do you think about the finishes, especially the top 5?
Um, I think it's pretty accurate.
I
Yeah.
think I think West Virginia would finish over TCU. I think
I mean, with
this,
Haley Van Lith going there, I think that they think,
but
maybe she's bringing quite a bit to that team.
but hear me out. We did this last year with TCU
Yeah,
when
we did.
all the transfers went to TCU and everyone hyped them up,
Yeah.
and then it kind of just died down. And I feel
Yeah.
like until we see it, we kind of I think have to temper our expectations because we got a little excited. I think last year, right? And I think West Virginia, they always bring their A game, and I feel like they did finish in the top 25 for AP this year or the preseason poll anyways, right?
Uh-huh.
So I don't know, I think West Virginia deserves to be up there in the top 5. I think I love Iowa State. I'll be biased to Iowa State, but I do like Kansas State, and I do think they'll finish at the top.
Uh-huh.
And then Baylor, they were scrappy last year. They got
Uh-huh.
some good wins at the end of the season last year, and then the upset on Virginia Tech in the playoffs. But I like it too. Other
And they
than
got
that,
Von Lay this year
I
from
know.
Colorado. That's a good pickup.
I know it is. Other than that, I mean, we have the Pac-12 schools in here: Utah, Arizona, Arizona State, and Colorado. It's a bummer to see Colorado down in the rankings. After us cheering on Sherrod
Yeah.
and Thrida. I just love that nickname. What a great nickname, right? But it's I'm curious to see how it shakes out, but I think it's this. I don't want to say it's going to be predictable, but we talk about the SEC and how that's going to be super difficult. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. This
Um,
one, yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty straightforward, I
yeah,
think.
I would agree with you as well. Like the top 5 are probably going to be the most
Yeah.
competitive. Hopefully we get some surprises. I liked I don't know. I kind of like Arizona, but
Uh-huh.
they didn't really stand out last year in the Pac-12, but we shall see. But okay, preseason player of the year, we have Aoka Lee. I think that's a given.
Yeah.
They did newcomer of the year preseason award, which was Von Lay and Haley Van Lith.
Mm.
Yeah, that's probably it. Those two are probably it. They did freshman of the year, Tabitha Betson from Colorado, and then they're all Big 12 team with Sarah Andrews, Von Lay, Caitlin Peterson, Audie Crooks, Samaya Nichols, Aoka Lee, Serena Sundale, Haley Van Lith, Gianna Neepkins, and JJ Quinterly. Um, I'm not gonna lie. Well, Neepkins got hurt last year. I was gonna say I was surprised she didn't transfer from Utah.
Uh-huh.
Um, but she got hurt. I remember that now. Um, for me, that's pretty straightforward. I mean, I like it. I would want to point out, oh my God, why is her name escaping me from Iowa State? The freshman that also did good with Audie Crooks, Addie Brown. I would
Mm.
say put her as a asterisk maybe. Maybe squeezes in there. She had a really good freshman season as well for Iowa State. Um, but I mean, anyone you think's missing from this list?
Um, Not that I can think of right off the top.
Oh, we'll
Um,
have another one.
Who?
Little Paige Bugs from Baylor. I don't know. I liked how she played last year, though. I don't know. I think she has more room to grow.
Yeah, a little
Just
up and down,
just like
but
a watch list. If we had to name a little watch list,
yeah, yeah.
I would put her in
Mhm.
there as well. But other than that, I think it's pretty accurate. I like the list. But okay, we are going to be breaking down the teams that fell into the AP Top 25. So we have Iowa State at 8, Baylor at 12, Kansas State at 13, and then West Virginia at 16. So there's only four Big 12 teams in the AP Top 25. First off, we'll start with Iowa State, ranked at 8. Majority of the returners, were the standouts from last year, the freshmen.
Yeah.
A lot of players transferred out. We have Jalen Bristow, Shantavia Dawkins, Nyamur Diwa, hopefully I said that right, Mary Kate King, and Isnell Natabo. We also had Hannah Bellinger graduate. They did have two freshmen, Allie Tank from Iowa, and then Reagan Wilson from Indiana. Both nominees for All-American, McDonald's All-American. Not ranked, but I mean, they already have a stat class. I mean, a sophomore
Mhm.
class. They really showed out and really showed promise. So I'm excited to see how, they grow from that. They did have a handful of transfers. Lily Hansford from Oregon State, Kenzie Hare from Marquette, who averaged 14 points per game, 2 rebounds per game, and 2.4 assists per game. We have Sydney Harris from TCU, and then Lily Taulele. Hopefully I said that
Mhm.
right. From UMass. Not really any huge transfers. Kenzie Hare, like I said, averages at 14 points from Marquette. But I mean, they had a solid lineup. Obviously, they lost a couple of transfers. But what
Mhm.
are you thinking all in all from Iowa State?
Yeah, I'm not familiar too much with the transfers coming in. But I know that it looks like they're a couple 3-point shooters, so
Hmm.
that'll be nice for them. I think with Iowa State, they just needed to bring in people that can help score.
Hmm.
Especially with Audie on the bench, like, they would wear that girl out because they had to give her all the minutes and try to
Hmm.
get her ball all the time. So she was doing quite a bit. So hopefully these transfers will help out with that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't have too much to say because I'm not familiar really with the transfers coming in, or the freshmen coming in.
Hmm. I mean, I'm just excited to see, Addie Brown, Audie Crooks,
Yeah.
just taking that next step because I feel like they just excelled, their freshman year. Um, And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Iowa State does. And
Hmm.
hopefully they keep that momentum from last year.
Hmm.
Okay, over to Baylor, number 12. Huge returning class. They did graduate Asia Blackwell and Dreana Edwards. Transfers were Katrina Ferrera, Danae Fritz, and Letty Vasconcelos. They had two freshmen. We have Ines Goryanova from Bulgaria and number 73 ranked in ESPN's rankings. Kayla Nelms, 6'1" forward from Florida, number 51 in ESPN's rankings. Um, two top recruits. I mean, but Baylor, I liked Baylor's team last year. I feel like they fell off a little bit and at the end made a huge push. So I'm curious to see, them take the next step. I really like Little Paige Bugs. I think she is
Hmm.
one of their key players. And I'm excited to see how she performs this year. They did have a couple of transfers. Wyatta Jennings, Collin College, averaged 21.7 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, 3.4 assists per game. Um, that's huge. That's great. Um, the biggest signing, Aronette Von Lay from Colorado,
Hmm.
14 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and then 1.4 assists per game. We talked about it when she was in the Pac-12 last year with Colorado. We love Von Lay.
Yeah.
This is a great signing for Baylor. We love to see it. Um, but what do you think? What do you think about Baylor?
No, yeah, I think they brought in some a good transfer. Obviously, that's gonna
Two good
stand out.
transfers. Two
Yeah,
transfers.
but
Yeah.
I mean, Vonleh, we've watched her quite a bit, and
Mm-hmm.
we know she can do good.
Yeah.
And to pair her with the guards, I mean, even with Jada Walker, they
Mm-hmm.
got some fast little guards, and then now to have a good like inside presence, it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
really help them out. And then it looks like they brought in some big freshmen, so
Mm-hmm.
that should help too.
Definitely. Excited for Baylor.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I think we said it. The top five teams are really going to compete well.
Hmm.
I think Von Lay definitely sets Baylor up for success. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
over to
and
Kansas.
she's one of those transfers like you can look at the team she's going to and see like, oh yeah, I think she can gel with that team.
Definitely. Over to Kansas State, ranked at 13 in the AP Top 25. Another huge returning class. They did graduate Rebecca Dallinger, Gabby Gregory, and transfers out. We have Heavenly Greer, Jemiah Harris, or Jamia Harris. Sorry about that. And then they did have one freshman, Finley o Owenstad from
Instead.
Minnesota. And they had a couple transfers. Tamara Poindexter from Tulsa, averaged 21 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, and 1.9 assists per game. And Kennedy Taylor from Missouri State, averaged 10.7 points per game, 7.1 rebounds per game. Yeah, I mean, I loved Kansas State.
Yeah.
Ayoka Lee, Serena Sundell. Um, it was Sundell that got injured, right? And during playoffs, I believe
Yeah.
she twisted her ankle, which was just a detriment. You could tell that they were missing her. But I think this is a talented roster. I'm surprised they aren't ranked a little bit higher in the AP top 25. But this is how it started last year. I believe they're unranked, right? Going into
Uh-huh.
last year, and then they shocked the world and made themselves, known.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm excited. Um, it's cool Aoki Lee came back because she was draft eligible. So just another year for her to get better. Huge for them. But what do you think about Kansas State?
Yeah, I mean, they're one of the teams in the Big 12 where they're returning quite a bit of players.
Mm-hmm.
So they're already going to come in with that experience. And then you
Yeah.
got some solid transfers coming in.
Yep.
It's not really familiar with the freshmen, but
Mm-hmm.
hey, I mean, they're looking good, and it's no wonder that they're predicted
Yeah.
to do good at the end of the season. So
Yeah. Super excited. Like I said, just another year returning a huge class. It's not a surprise that they're, finishing their preseason polls of Big 12 as the number one team. Um, Besides Baylor, I think they're returning the most players.
yeah.
So yeah, excited for Kansas State. I think they're going to shock a lot of teams this year, definitely. And then last for the Big 12, we have West Virginia ranked at 16. Another big returning class. They did graduate Tavy Diggs, Lauren Fields, Jayla Hemingway, and they had one transfer out, Messiah Hunter. Other than that, they had a couple of freshmen, Destiny Agbada from California, 5'11 guard, ranked number 78 in ESPN's rankings. For y'all, Defne Otley from Turkey. We love a Euro basketball player. An overseas recruit. I feel like they're slept on, and we've seen it in the WNBA. I feel like GMs are hesitant to bring over someone from overseas, but then look at Phoebich, how
That's
tremendous
true.
she did for Liberty in the finals, right?
That's true.
Jordan Thomas, 6'3" forward from Texas, ranked number 79 in ESPN's rankings. So they went big.
Yeah.
Got a big guard, two big forwards, filling in some gaps, helping out JJ Quinterly. Um, and then they had a couple of transfers. Celia Riviere from Northwest, I hope NW means Northwest. Northwest Florida State, 12.5 points per game, 6.8 rebounds per game, and 3 assists per game. We have Sydney Shaw from Auburn, 6.6 points per game. And then Sydney Woodley from Long Beach State, 10.8 points per game and 5 rebounds per game. Solid transfers.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, I mean, West Virginia, I feel like what was the game? Was it against Virginia Tech where we're like, oh, they could be that sleeper. Um,
Yeah.
they just showed signs of doing really well. JJ Quinterly's coming back, dominant.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think about West Virginia?
Yeah, I mean, this is JJ's team,
Mm-hmm.
really. Every time I watched this game, it was really them doing well and not always because of her scoring, it's her energy.
Mm-hmm.
She brought a lot of energy every game. And it helps that they are bringing in some solid forwards
Mm-hmm.
and a few good transfer guards. So I think that's going to help add some more scoring to this team. Jordan Harrison, I know she did good last year.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's
Um,
right. Mm-hmm.
so no, I mean, I'm excited to see how it plays out. I think a lot of the teams with the Big 12, it's like they had the one or two players where, they're pretty solid, but the rest of the team, they just need to build a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
around them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of those teams that we just talked about did that. So
Mm-hmm.
it'll be exciting to see.
Yeah, like I would agree with you. I feel like the Big 12, obviously, they only had four teams in the AP Top 25, but they
Mhm.
got big pieces, especially with the Pac-12 breaking up.
Yeah.
A lot of the players transferred, went to other conferences. So, I mean, that kind of helped, the Big 12 in that aspect. Um, but with all that said, I mean, out of all these teams in the Big 12, let's start off, like, who do you think is going to take the conference?
Mm, Probably Kansas State.
So you're going to stick with the Kansas State.
Yeah, because they're bringing back the most players and they already did well with those
I know.
players.
You're right. Yeah.
And then with their transfers that's coming in, I only see that helping them.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it'd have to be probably Kansas State for me.
And as much as I'd love to say Iowa State, they had so many people transfer out, which is very concerning for me. It's kind of like a new team again, back-to-back years, a new team a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like Baylor, and
Yeah,
I'm not always a big fan of Baylor. Don't get me wrong,
yeah,
but I like with the Von Lay ad.
yeah.
I don't know. There's something about Baylor I like.
No, for sure.
Um,
If Kansas State was in the picture, Baylor would probably be my next pick.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
think I like Baylor. I love Kansas State. Like if I didn't, I don't want to be the same as you, Megan. We always do
Right.
this. We agree, and I want to be a little bit different. So
Yeah.
if I had to pick another team, I think I would rock with Baylor.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have to pick Kansas State, who would you be rocking with then?
It would have probably been Baylor.
Yeah. Okay. Now you're cheating. You just be copying my answers. Okay. If you had to choose one sleeper in this little league we got going over here, Big 12, just predict the team, Megan.
No, I think it would. I think West Virginia potentially could do even better than we think.
They're not supposed to be ranked. It's a sleeper.
Oh, not ranked.
Yeah, not ranked. No one's really talking about him.
Um, oh man, probably Arizona.
Dang it! Why do you steal all my answers? I was also gonna say Arizona.
Well, Arizona. I mean, they're one of those teams that every year they always get some big wins. You know, Colorado. I wish I could say them, but
Yeah, no,
losing
I'm not
two
saying
big
that.
scores, I just don't see it. Texas Tech. No,
Yeah, no.
there's not a lot you can really choose from, I
Yeah,
think, over here. And I would say Arizona. They're new to this conference, so
yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how they doing it. But I can see them coming in and competing.
No, I totally agree with you. And then, lastly, who do you think can rival Ayoka Lee for the Big 12 Player of the Year?
Vale.
Good thing I had a backup answer. Why Von Lay though?
Dude, I just liked her style of play. Like, she
Mm-hmm.
was one of those quiet, like dominant
Yeah,
players.
yeah.
And I think it got overlooked because they had uh your favorite, how do you say your name, Frida?
Sherrod.
Well, no, not Sherrod. I know Sherrod, but
Oh,
what's the other
Frida.
one? Frida.
Frida. Yeah,
They had Sherrod and Frida
yeah.
who were big time scorers,
Mm-hmm.
so she got overlooked all the time.
Yeah.
But I think she can come in this league and be dominant. So
I like your Von Lay pick, which is why I had a backup. It's going to be Audie Crooks. I love her. I'm her number one fan. Had a great freshman season, but the freshman class was stacked. Okay.
mhm.
So she got overlooked, but this leap, to sophomore season, baby. I don't know. Keep an eye out. I'm telling
And
you,
I
she can
and
make a
I
good
and
run
I
for
have
it.
another shout out pick as well.
Hmm.
I just want us to not forget Haley Van Lith
I know.
can dominate in this league.
She
And I
could.
don't want any of us to forget that.
Yeah.
I'm just concerned if TCU is going to hold her back or let her be great.
There was actually an
So,
interview. There's actually an interview. I forgot who interviewed her. But she was saying she's this coach recruited her to Oregon, the one that's at TCU. And when she decided to go to Louisville, uh, the coach was like, "No, that's a good decision. Like, I respect your decision. That's a good fit for you." And now that when he recruited TCU, he was like, "No, like this system's gonna be a good fit. She believes the system's gonna be a better fit for her. And if we get vintage Louisville Haley Van Lith, that's
that's what I'm
player of the
saying.
year."
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm excited to see that as
And if
well. I
there's
hope
a league for her to dominate in,
it's
it's
the Big
this one.
12. You're right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just don't want us to sleep on that.
No, I
So
agree. I totally
you
agree with
heard it
you.
here first, folks.
And if you're wrong, you heard it from Megan. No,
Yep.
I'm saying just slang.
Yep.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. If she can get back into a system that works for her and plays like she did at Louisville, Player of the Year is definitely a possibility. I would agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, let us know what you guys think about the Big 12. Comment below. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And also if you're new here, every week we do a recap during college basketball. It comes out on Mondays. We go over big wins, upsets, stuff like that. So if you want to follow along, like I said, hit that subscribe button. We'll be with you every single week. But thank you guys for tuning in. We do appreciate all your guys' support, and we'll see you guys next week. Have fun enjoying November 4th. It's a holiday. No, I'm just playing. It's a college basketball holiday. Jam-packed games. I'm excited about it. But thank you guys again. We appreciate your support. Peace.
Peace.